everybody in the world hates him. Well, newsflash. Regular people who want freedom and love their nation, love their country, who aren't brainwashed to the crap that's being pushed by the mainstream media, being pushed by the New World Order, and being pushed in our schools. Well, we've woken the hell up. And we know what's going on, and we're not in with the New World Order. This is what this protest is all about. Think about it. Here we have a protest in the hundreds of thousands taking place in countries, not only in countries, but in America. It's happening in Washington, Boston, New York, Denver, Chicago, LA, and I think somewhere in Florida as well. Those are the ones I could find. But hundreds of thousands in order to protest or to stand for women's rights and civil rights. That's what it's about. It's a big women rights activist parade. Well, that sounds all good. And I'm 100% for women's rights. We need to be equal on same ground as men. We're equal here. I get it. But Donald Trump is not a woman hater. He doesn't hate. Nothing that he's said he was going to do, nothing that he's said he wants to put into place is going to hinder women's rights in any way. Interesting how the left has stolen the women's rights activists, who's a big number of people, and put it under this banner like Donald Trump is a racist, because in addition to this protest, gathering across the world for women's rights, it's not just about women's rights, because they've managed to throw it in there anti-Donald Trump. They want to make sure Donald Trump's not a racist, so they're going out to protest against and stand for women's rights. No, the left is using women's rights and women's activists as a shooting point, because they put Hillary in, a reported feminist who is not anything near that. She's evil to the core. She hates women, in my opinion. Why do I say that? Well, because she accepts money from the women-killing country, Saudi Arabia and China. Get over it, okay? Communist China, Saudi Arabia, I'm sorry, she ain't my friend, okay? But yet Donald Trump's never accepted any money from Saudi Arabia or anything that bashes women, and here they are. The movement got hijacked by the left and is being pushed by the mainstream media. People are coming out to support a good cause, because women's rights, great, it's a great cause. Civil rights, yes, great, that's a great cause. But don't push it in the left agenda and call it and say it's not part of the right agenda, because it doesn't have anything to do with that. It doesn't. It's just a human right. And so here they are in solidarity, and idiot actors such as, let me name a few, Alicia Keys, Scarlett Johansson, Ashley Judd, Michael freaking idiot Moore. I don't know if he classifies, but Madonna's even come out and said she'd burn the White House or something to blow up the White House, something stupid during the protest. I'll leave a link below. It's on the Communist News Network one that I'll leave. But anyway, it's insane. It's insane. And so we have hundreds of thousands of people gathered, and they're protesting Donald Trump and saying, we just want women's rights. Well, I think that's going to cause a lot of ripples in America. And I fear, that this could be some movement to, I don't know, they're going to attempt to impeach him. They're going to attempt to assassinate him. Because look, if there's all this Trump hate going on, which that's what it is, it's just a bunch of Trump hate. They have no idea how much freedom I believe Trump could bring this country, because he doesn't want to give up our sovereignty to a global body. So the left is paying money and backing all these movements in order to build them up for the New World Order. They've been hijacked, and they're being portrayed as freedom and rights when it's anything but freedom and rights. Because New World Order, my friends, leads to you giving up your solidarity, maybe that too, but giving up your sovereignty. Obama said that at his last United Nations speech. Just Google UN speech, President Obama, sovereignty, giving up sovereignty. I've done the report many times. I don't want to pull it back up, but you can look through my videos. But needless to say, this is the kind of junk that I don't know which way the wind is going to blow, but I see a division happening in America. I see a movement of nationalism, loving your country, and a movement towards that global New World Order movement. And a lot of those on the left don't realize that that's what's being pushed and portrayed, and some do. And some don't know the repercussions of it. But to hijack all of that and say we're under the banner of, a big New World Order movement now, is a problem, and one that I predict, could cause very serious repercussions. And with all this Trump hate, there's a high possibility of some idiot loon being brainwashed enough to go and attempt assassination attempt on Trump, be it false flag, be it through the government or not, the corrupt side of the government. The New World Order is pushing this, and they're pushing very hard for some idiot loon, lone wolf kind of guy or group of guy to go out there and do it outside of them. And that's what they're really pushing for, because otherwise they wouldn't push so much Trump hate everywhere. But let's get to the bottom line of this. And what is that? Well, the New World Order people are pissed. They don't want nationalism. They don't want Donald Trump. I've read numerous documents. World Economic Forum is one that I read and brought on my channel recently, in which I showed specifically how they hate Trump. Davos has hated Trump. They hate Brexit. They hate Nigel Farage. They hate anyone who stands in their way. And look, I warned it would get rocky, and it's going to continue to get rocky. So hold fast, hold tight. Anyhow, I wanted to bring you the latest on that. And I also want to say, look, I'm a woman and I stand with Donald Trump.
Well, 99% of Americans don't know who was really behind the Women's March yesterday. Well, it has now been revealed, and the truth is not good. Paris Swade, Liberty Writers News, picked up on this story, and it's now going all over the web, going viral. Yes, he reports that over 200,000 people participated in a women's march on Washington, D.C. yesterday. Of course, if you're a conservative woman, then, well, you certainly wouldn't be permitted there. This is only for feminist liberals. They write here, one of the organizers in the march, her name is Linda Sarsour. Linda Sarsour, here she is. Now, apparently she's a pro-Palestine activist, and she's also an advocate for Sharia law in America, and she also has open ties to the terrorist organization Hamas. Okay, so she was one of the lead organizers. They write here that she's very vocal about her hatred for Israel, and according to the Daily Caller, she was spotted at a Muslim convention in Chicago and posed for pictures with the alleged financier of Hamas. Now, here's a tweet that she put out recently. She's very pro-Sharia law, and this is one of her tweets. You know you're living under Sharia law if suddenly all your loans and credit cards become interest-free. Sounds nice, doesn't it? Okay, yeah, so basically she wants to promote Sharia law in America, a takeover of the current system, so that we can have interest-free loans. Okay. But what else comes along with Sharia law? Well, I'll let you look that up. But she really wants to have Sharia law here in the United States. So she was one of the lead organizers of that rally, and of course there were subsequent rallies across the world. What I think was interesting too to note about the rally, it was just, I mean, the things that Madonna said, and that one musician, she was just going on and on and on about her menstrual cycle, screaming at the top of her lungs. The musician, I forget her name now. It's irrelevant. I mean, that means she really doesn't mean anything. But it was ridiculous to see all these people go out there and screaming for what? Women's rights? I mean, are women's rights really that suppressed in this country? I would think that women's rights are more heavily suppressed in the Middle East. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, women have access to health care. They can vote, right? They can go in the workplace. I don't understand, where is the disconnect? What is it that they're so afraid of Trump doing that is going to destroy women's rights? I mean, we all have equal rights in this country, okay? It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, or if you are black or brown or white, or what your sexual orientation is. We all have equal rights. So I guess it escapes me as to what the big threat that is looming over women in America really is. Anyway, They continue here that the fact that this hardcore Islamist individual organized the Women's March should shock liberals. They write here, this is according to Persuade, they write, Islam is the worst abuser of human rights in the world, especially with women. They write, the fact that the left has been conceived to march for a pro-Islamic group should not surprise you. Islamic supremacists have taken over the left and want to end the rights of both of us. They write here, an insane post from Maya Schwader on the Jerusalem Post said there are several women celebrating putting on hijabs at the march. Okay, look, if that's your religion, that's fine. But we have a way of doing things in this country. We have a constitution. We have a set number of laws here. We're not going to turn over this nation to force our women to wearing hijabs because you are offended by their hair. We're just not going to do that. You're free to do and practice your religion as you see fit. But we're not going to suddenly just start capitulating to every single outcry and demand. I mean, Christians get abused all over this country. You know, they're constantly assaulted, attacked. The rights of Christians during the holiday season are just thrown out the window, under threat. So anyway, just thought I'd bring that to your attention. This woman here is one of the main organizers behind the march. One thing Swade picks up here, he says liberals will start claiming that Islam is pro-feminism. I don't know how that could even, if that happens, then you know these people are completely lost. Completely lost. If anything, they should be marching for the rights of the women in the Middle East who are suppressed under Islam. But that is, I think, also by choice too. I mean, the people in the Middle East who live under Islam, who live under Sharia law, they live there because they want to, because that is their right and that is their faith. But for people to be marching for women's rights in the United States, I just don't know what rights are lost. Maybe you guys can help me in the comment section, enlighten me, because I guess my male testosteronic white privilege has just overtaken me, and I'm blind to the loss of rights that are affecting so many women in America. Comment below, subscribe for updates. If you like what we're doing, give us a thumbs up and share this report on your